Safalata. Excellence. Achieve, as Sir said, achieve that excellence in every field possible. Now, I think instead of the theory of motivation, we should talk about theory of inspiration. Inspire. Now, there are so many startups happening, so many people are getting inspired. Last on this thing is maintaining equanimity. Acha hua, bura hua, nothing shakes you. Because there is always a silver lining at the end of whatever is happening. They always say कि अच्छा आता है, चला जाता है, बुरा आता है, वो भी चला जाता है, लेकिन मोटापा आता है, वो नहीं जाता. Okay, next is ethics. Now there is a complete subject of ethics in management schools. Why do you need to teach ethics? Why? These are the values which has come with you from your family, your observance, but unfortunately that itself is not existing today. Simple thing, your maid in the house, how do you treat her? You say, no, 2 days you didn't come, I'll cut the pay. What are the children watching? They're watching these ethics. The parents resorting to corruption and bribery and discussing the same at home. I remember going to once to an income tax commissioner. He had called us official this thing, but he had other issues with him. So he told me, you know, it is so difficult. I asked you to book a guest house room for us, but you people gave us a very bad room. So I said, of course, that portfolio is not with me. I will check up and let you know. And we are sorry about it. You don't understand it. It is my brother who had come, but I can't keep him in the house. Because my child just refuses to share the room. I have to knock at his door before entering. So I asked him, how old is your child? He said, some 11 or 12 years old. He said, ma'am, you also have children. I said, no, we don't follow that. Now what happens when the parents are in their own ego trip? The children suffer. The children are watching, I'm telling you, it is too amazing. They watch every knack. I have a 2.5-year-old grandchild, and I'm telling you, I have to make myself so restrictive not to shout, not to be angry, because she imitates. So finally I end up saying, oh my God, what do I cheat? So it has enabled me, I am learning from her how to keep quiet. Okay? Now, Krishna has talked about 2 work culture. One is Daivi Sampat, divine. Whatever you do it in a divine manner, fearlessly. Full self-control, sacrifice, calmness, absence of ego, and fault-finding. Very important, very, very important. When you do a fault-finding of your employee, call him into your cabin in private and do it. Never in front of others. But when you want to appreciate him, do it publicly. You see the motivation happening, you will be amazed at the motivation. Because what do the human being want? Human being wants a small pat on the back. Nothing else. Small pat on the back. That is enough to motivate him. Now, with Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, what we talked about, work is worship. I just need to... Now there are 2-3 other aspects. We have another 10-15 minutes. 1 second. Okay. Now we go to the 2 or 3 aspects I'm going to talk about, with concentrating more on that. One, of course, is all of us are leaders, so I want to concentrate on leadership. What is a cover page of Bhagavad Gita depict chariot and Krishna riding the chariot and Arjuna bow with arrow. Okay, there are various, but basic thing is this. The first and most important thing of a leader is what? What do you think is the important thing of a leader?
He should control all the in his hand. Shri Krishna Sanathat सगळे दोरे आहेत.
ओके, लगाम आहे, पण कंट्रोलनी कधी काही झाले आहे का? तुमच्या आईवडिलांनी तुम्हाला कंट्रोल केली होती, पण वी हॅव रिव्हॉल्टेड ऑन इट ना. तुमची मुलं ऐकतात का? टी व्ही बघू नका, ऐकतात का? नो, दॅट इज हम्बलनेस. He chose to ride his chariot because he humbled himself. You know how a person who is sitting on the chariot, how does he guide his sarthi? Anybody has an idea? Remember one thing, you are in the war. There's too much of noise. People are fighting with the talwars and the elephant is trumpeting, the horse is hoofing. It's chaos, people are shouting, screaming. How does a sarthi hear where does the charioteer wants to go? How does he do it? He kicks him. If he wants to go to the right, he kicks here. If he wants to go to the left, he kicks here. And middle and straight go. So for 18 days, from morning till dusk, what was Arjuna getting? Kicks. It shows, I'm not saying take kicks from your employees, but become humble. Accept their, it's quite possible your maid comes, I'm talking about maid comes to the house. Some days you can see from her face, she is very irritated, she is angry. There's no harm. Make her sit down and give her a cup of coffee and tell her, okay, you're feeling bad, your legs are paining, I'll press your legs. No harm. Same way your employee. I remember this. In office, once one employee came, our office was closing at 5:30, he came at 5 o'clock. And I was sitting with another colleague of mine. He opened the door and he said, sir, मी मामा झालोय आज, मला जायचंय. Go at 5:25. What did you achieve? Ultimately, what did you achieve? अरे जा यार, माझ्यातर्फे पेढे घेऊन जा. Don't you think that you buy the peda, don't buy the peda, is another story. But मुंह भर के बोलो तो. So that, 1 second. मुंह भर के बोलो तो. So humbleness is a very, very important characteristic of this thing. But humbleness, again, don't misinterpret. There are some people who always say, नाही ग, मी तुझ्यापेक्षा खूप लहान आहे, मला काही येत नाही. That is not humbleness. That is pure mockery. Drama and mockery. So you don't make yourself low. Don't say that you're low. What you need to do is act and make that other person feel good. That is very important. Now, there's one case study of Ratan Tata only. He had said, I have had 4 different phases of my life. In the first phase, I joined the already established Tata, worked there. Second phase, I brought in a lot of innovations. I introduced many other new, Tatas are more than 150 years old. They have survived over a period of time with various businesses because they have encompassed, they have moved with the time. So he said, in the second phase, it was innovations, new acquirement, joint ventures, etc. Third one, of course, his pet, nano car. And of course, later on he acquired Jaguar and other things. He said, what is my fourth phase, He said, when I was all doing all these things, one day a friend of mine came and he told me, listen, I want some help from you. I want some wheelchairs for some 20 children who are disabled. They are in our ashram, I want to give it to them. I said, okay, come I'll call my secretary, give you whatever is the check you want. He said, I want one more small thing from you. Can you please come there? So he was saying, then one day he said, all the achievements I have done, all this thing has never given me any happiness. When I came to you today evening, I wish you happy evening, not good evening. Why? Evening is good, bad is due to the happenings. Today the facility is so good, so you're feeling happy. If there was some discomfort in the facility, you would be feeling bad. But to be happy is within you, in whatever circumstances. So instead of a good day, good evening, I prefer wishing people happy evening, happy day. Because that is within me to be happy or not happy. Coming to the point of our Ratan Tata, he said, these three phases of mine, I achieved the best, never happiness. In the fourth phase, he said, I went to that ashram. And when the children sat on the wheelchair and they moved, for them mobility was a pleasure. For us, we have two legs, we walk, we don't understand. He said, that is the day I was happy. And there is also one place where people have gone, one child held the hand of the person. And he said, look at me. He said, why? Because even when I meet you in the heaven, I want to thank you. This is enough. You have achieved in your life. Now you know why MS Dhoni, again coming back to MS Dhoni, he is considered to be one of the best captains. All of us know he has been considered the best captain. When they are on a tour, his hotel room is always open for everybody. Anybody can come in, walk in. The door is never closed. Anybody can walk into his room, order anything, everything, anything, come, look into watch the TV, read a book, put up their feet on his bed, anything. But only one thing not allowed. What? Gossip. Leaders should never allow gossip. Grapevine. Wrong rumors to be spread. Remember, all these are bad for your company. And also, when we are talking about humbleness, there's a small story about Ganga. Ganga, you know, the mighty Ganga, she accumulates so much of water from so many rivers and flows from Gomukh and high up in Himalayas into Bay of Bengal. Now, when she reached the Bay of Bengal, the Bay of Bengal asked her, oh Ganga, when you are coming, you come with such fury and you carry with you so many trees, big, big trees, huge trees, and they all come and dumped in my ocean. But I have never seen any grass coming. Why? She says, simple. When I am flowing with my fury, the tree is standing straight and he gets knocked off. What does the grass do, poor thing? It bends and the water flows over it. So none of the grass come. So for the simple reason is that be humble. Most important, we learn from Gita and Mahabharata or the war is, you have to be humble when in crisis. You also know that crisis shows the real character of a human being. What is his character? Whether he is a helpful nature or he is a person who is going to run away. Now Ashwatthama, after he heard his father's death, became furious. He just couldn't see anything. He said, I am going to leave my Narayanastra. You know what is Narayanastra? The most powerful. All other astras, even if you leave them, they will come and assemble into that Narayanastra. The only way to avoid? Namaskar. And that is what he told everybody around. First do a Namaskar. And when Bhima refused, he just had to push his head down. Basically, when in crisis, learn how to be humble, handle the situation with the best available resources. Another very important thing of a leader is flexibility. I should be flexible, ready to work as a peon, ready to work as a manager, ready to work as a clerk, ready to work as a typist, anything, what is required. And always don't only work for the pay which is given to you. That is never going to take you ahead. Always, there's a big difference between boss and leader. Choose what you want to become. You want to become a boss or a leader? What does a boss do? Fault finding, shouting, blame game. What does a leader do? Motivate, take it upon himself. When there is a mistake, he doesn't expose his team. He says, I am responsible for it. It is to my account the failure is. So, leader contributes. As Sir said, even in networking, contribution. Always remember, a boss, when he is going, people are the happiest. Chala gaya, acha ho gaya. Sardat chala gaya. Whereas a leader goes, nobody wants him to go. They say, please remain with us and guide us. That's why still you have Narayan Moti, Ratan Tata continuing in their organization because they are leaders. They are able to contribute. They are always giving to the organization. So people want them. Now, crisis management, I told you who's this thing. Most important thing, a leader empowers his juniors. What do you mean by empowerment? He doesn't end up doing all the things. Tatas again, they have the assembly unit of Safari and Harriet, the high-end SUVs. You know who manages the entire assembly line? Women, all women. He empowered them. So when it's women, they also know that safety of women is very important. They cannot have any mishaps. So there are buses leaving them. Also, they ensure the nutrition of the women are proper. So that what happens is they are able to perform. All the young girls, 20, 25-year-old. Most important in Ramayana. Lord Rama empowering Vanaras. It is not that Rama could not build a bridge. With all his arrows, he could have built a bridge. Killing Ravana was not this thing. God is in the heart, he could have throttled his neck. But he wanted to empower Vanaras. Monkey as a clan today, I am worshipping Hanuman. Why? Because of the deeds he did. How could he do the deeds? It's only because Rama empowered him to do it. And today we appreciate this. Otherwise, who would have seen a monkey? How would we know what a monkey is? We always treat him as a low-end person. Now here I would like to talk about a very important thing of Amul. How they functioned during the lockdown. All of us know March 2020, lockdown began. There was total shutdown, everything. All of us know what all happened. Many businesses went out, completely closed down. Whereas Amul, owned by 3.6 million dairy farmers. Why it happened? Because Mr. Sodhi, the MD, had a vision. He could see into the future. He said no. He saw the opportunity in a crisis. Remember one thing, who is a leader? Doesn't cry, crisis, 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 Rona Daunani. What are the opportunities which comes out of it? All of us have to look at opportunities. I always say, opportunity keeps on knocking at our doors. Every moment. Unfortunately, I do not know when to open it. Which door to open. So I must be alert to open the right door. Now, during the MS Sodhi, how did he do? He said, let me improve my supply chain system. Ensure that all the milk which is going waste. Remember, buffaloes were giving milk, cows were giving milk. They didn't stop giving milk. They were farmers who were doing it. Nobody to take it. Loose milk, nobody was ready to take. Now, also remember some food consumption pattern change of people. People started making food at home. So butter and cheese were used a lot. So what happened? Amul as a brand ensured that they supplied the milk throughout. And Amul was coming in packs. Amul, that sachet used to come. And people preferred packed milk to your loose milk. Always, and during this period, with their statistics, it says 5 to 7% increase in demand for the milk was there. All the ice cream parlors, everything closed down. They channelized and almost as much as 3.5 million liters of additional milk they started procuring. They started developing new products. Remember one thing, Amul is a trusted brand. We have a faith in that brand. So they ensured that milk supply did not stop. They incentivized the supply chain. They gave accommodation facilities to their workers. Also, they ensured that both their consumers and the dairy farmers remained healthy. Because if there was one single case of COVID happening and the milk getting contaminated, the entire business would have gone for a flop. Most important thing, during lockdown, people stopped advertising because there was no sale. There was no advertising, whereas Amul increased their advertisement. You know, that time they showed Ramayana and Mahabharata on TV, repeated. Repeat telecast was there. People didn't have anything else to do. They were watching it. That is when Amul put in their ads. Now remember one thing, what has happened because of this? They came out with ideas to ensure that this COVID crisis converted into opportunity. Now, the entire force of Amul has become empowered. And do you think any crisis is going to make a matter to them? Are they going to care for any crisis? Let anything come here, we know how to tackle it. So with one single person's vision, this particular achievement could be made. Well, one important thing about, another important concept is decision making. All of us are faced with it at dilemma every day. What is a decision? Right decision takes us forward, a wrong decision takes it backward. So what does Krishna say? Krishna says that decision-making tips he gives, don't make decision on feelings. He is my brother. So let me be a little lenient, let me give him more concession in my business. No, not on feelings. It should be a balance of mind. Also avoid decision in extreme conditions. When I'm very angry or I'm very happy. When I'm very happy, if somebody comes and tells me, oh, please give me 1 lakh, I'll immediately remove and give because I'm very happy. I have achieved something great. Anger, I'll fire that person left and right and I'll break that relationship with him. Also, be proactive. This is one of the first habit which was told in 7 habits of highly effective people. One important thing, am I focusing on results when I am taking decision? I want to get my promotion. Am I doing my decision on that? No. You do that, you have become your worst enemy. I am only looking at my promotion and working. Because if I don't get promotion, I'm sorry to say this, that one very important thing which all of us miss out, and we miss out on understanding that, is something called body language. How many of us are keen observers of body language? मुंह से कुछ निकलता है, लेकिन बॉडी कुछ अलग ही बोलता है. Learn that. I'm telling you, this is one of the most important thing in business. When you are approaching your vendor, what he is talking, what he is showing, because the body shows what is coming here. What is going on here, the body shows. No need to become a magician to read somebody's mind. Body explodes. It gives away. So learn this thing, understanding the body language of a person. Also remember one thing. What is not good for the society is not good for you. Sachin Tendulkar has bluntly said no for advertising liquor. I am not here to judge to say liquor is good, bad, but it is his decision. I am not going to earn money by advertising for liquor because it is bad for the society, it's bad for me. So I said, right counseling, very, very important. Whom you are counseling? Your parents? I am again not telling everybody is perfect in there. They all talk from their experience. Listen, take action. One small thing about mind control. This is an experience which has helped me, that's why I am talking about it. He talks about, in Bhagavad Gita, also about mind control. He says how the sense organs perceive. All of us know there are two minds, subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Subconscious mind is where all your likes, dislikes, hates, your preferences, whatever has been created over your childhood, over your years of things are at the back of the head. Conscious mind is where you act, you do, and action is taken. So these senses, all your 5 senses, perceive something, take it, the subconscious mind reacts, and you act. Correct? All of us know this process? All of us know this process. So this is the reason, anger. I hate somebody and that person comes and he asks anything, I shout in anger. Now, how it helped me? Listen, there is also 2 minutes. Also, all of us know there is a middle brain or middle consciousness which makes you aware about what is happening in your subconscious. You are going to get angry on this particular issue. It makes you aware about it. Learn to develop that middle level. I'll give you a small example. During my job, I had a very nasty boss. So nasty, he would instigate you to tell him something on his face. He will ask you such horrible questions or horrible personal questions that you are provoked to talk, reply, or give it back to him. And in 1 or 2 cases, he has misused that against that employee and created problems for their job. Unfortunately, for some years, I was appearing to him directly. Now, there was one way I knew the only way to control was control my anger. It used to take 2 minutes to go from my cabin to his cabin. I would purely chant Hanuman Chalisa. Not for anything, to keep my mind calm. And I'm telling you, friends, this particular thing of conscious, in-between level, you learn to develop, you will be a successful person. Because most of our problems emanate from our mental problems. Because of our anger, because of our greed, because we don't know what to talk when. Develop this, it helps. Well, finally, we come to a conclusion. All actions are do good, get good. In conclusion, I can only say that do not discard the Western model of efficiency, dynamism, excellence. They are good. They are good. But tune that to the Indian holistic attitude of Lok Sangraha for the welfare of all. Don't only look at saying that how good it is to me. Pollution, good for you. You are able to dispose of all the pollutants in the water, but how much it is causing a harm to others. Have that care. Swami Vivekananda had said, a combination of these two approaches will create future leaders in India who are far more superior than anybody else ever in the world. Well, friends, I don't know how much I was able to communicate to you. The subject being so highly, I really don't know when I was reading, but I must thank all of you because this opportunity enabled me to read more and more on this subject. And it is impossible to conquer it, impossible to conquer it. So finally, if you're beautiful, it's God's gift to you. And if you lead a beautiful life, it's your gift to God. Thank you.